If you look at the world's longest living populations, one pattern appears again and again. The people who remain mobile, independent, and calm well into old age are not the ones who exercise the hardest. They are the ones who move every day in small, deliberate ways that support the body instead of exhausting it. Nowhere is this more visible than in Japan, where many elders continue to walk confidently, sit comfortably on the floor, and maintain balance far longer than most people expect. What separates Japanese elders from many seniors elsewhere is not genetics or gym routines. It is the way movement is woven quietly into daily life. Instead of intense workouts done a few times a week, they rely on simple movements performed every day, often slowly, often without even thinking of them as exercise. These movements keep joints lubricated, muscles active, and balance systems alert, without placing stress on the body. The first movement reflects this philosophy perfectly. Movement 1 focuses on posture and spinal length, something Japanese elders maintain naturally through daily habits. Over time, many people over 50 develop a forward-leaning posture caused by sitting, looking down, and reduced spinal movement. This posture places pressure on the lower back, restricts breathing, and makes balance less reliable. Japanese elders counter this by gently restoring length through the spine every day. To practice this movement, stand comfortably with your feet about hip-width apart, or sit upright on a chair if standing feels unsafe. Allow your shoulders to relax and imagine the top of your head gently lifting upward, as if a string were lengthening your spine. This is not a forceful stretch. It is a subtle adjustment that creates space between the joints of the spine. As you inhale slowly through your nose, allow your arms to rise gently in front of you or to the sides, only as far as feels comfortable. As you exhale, lower your arms and allow your shoulders to soften. The movement is slow, smooth, and unforced. The purpose is not range of motion, but awareness and alignment. Japanese elders often perform similar movements during morning routines or while standing outdoors, allowing the spine to move freely while breathing remains calm. Practiced daily, this simple action reduces stiffness in the back and neck, improves posture, and makes standing and walking feel more natural throughout the day. The second movement builds on this sense of alignment and introduces gentle knee and hip mobility, another area where Japanese elders tend to remain surprisingly capable. Instead of isolating joints, this movement trains them to work together in a controlled, supportive way. To begin, stand with your feet slightly wider than hip-width apart, or sit on the edge of a chair with your feet planted firmly on the floor. Slowly bend your knees just a small amount, as if beginning to sit down, then gently straighten them again. The movement is shallow and controlled, never deep or rushed. As you bend and straighten, keep your chest upright and your weight evenly distributed through your feet. Your knees should move naturally in line with your toes, without collapsing inward. This movement mimics the way Japanese elders frequently sit, stand, and lower themselves during daily life, maintaining joint health without strain. Breathing remains slow and steady throughout the movement. Many elders in Japan perform similar motions repeatedly during the day without labeling them as exercise, which is exactly why they work so well. The joints stay warm, the muscles stay engaged, and stiffness never has time to settle in deeply. After several repetitions, most people notice a sense of warmth in the legs and a feeling of ease around the knees and hips. This is not fatigue, but circulation returning to areas that often become stagnant with age. Over time, this movement supports stronger legs, better balance, and greater confidence when standing up or walking. These first two movements may appear simple, but that simplicity is intentional. Japanese elders do not chase intensity. They prioritize consistency, calmness, and respect for the body. By practicing small movements every day, they maintain mobility without exhausting themselves, allowing them to stay active well into later life. One of the most noticeable differences between Japanese elders and seniors in many other countries is not strength, but balance. Falls are far less common, and confidence in everyday movement remains higher for much longer. This is not because Japanese elders perform difficult balance drills or test their limits. Instead, they practice balance in subtle ways that are built into daily routines, allowing the body to stay alert and responsive without fear or strain. Balance is not a single skill. It is the result of communication between the feet, legs, hips, spine, and nervous system. When this communication weakens, the body becomes cautious. Movements slow down, steps become smaller, and posture stiffens. Over time, this caution increases the very risk it is meant to prevent. The third movement focuses on restoring this communication through controlled weight shifting, something Japanese elders do naturally while standing, waiting, or walking slowly through their environment. To practice this movement, stand comfortably with your feet about hip-width apart. If you feel uncertain, stand near a stable surface such as a wall or chair, using it only for light support if needed. Allow your arms to hang naturally and your posture to remain upright without tension. Slowly shift your weight to one side, allowing one leg to take slightly more of your body weight while the other leg becomes lighter. There is no need to lift the foot fully off the ground. Simply allow the weight to settle into one leg, feeling how the foot connects with the floor. After a brief pause, slowly shift your weight back to the center and then gently to the other side. The movement is smooth and unhurried, guided by awareness rather than effort. As you shift, keep your knees soft and your breathing calm. This side-to-side weight shift trains the body to manage balance dynamically, which is far more useful than standing still on one leg for long periods. It mirrors the way balance is used in real life, when stepping around obstacles, turning, or adjusting to uneven ground. Japanese elders often perform similar movements unconsciously while standing in line, cooking, or waiting outdoors. These small shifts keep the balance system active throughout the day, preventing it from becoming dull or unresponsive. As you repeat this movement, you may notice small adjustments happening automatically in your ankles, hips, and core. These adjustments are exactly what protect you from falling. They are the body's natural correction mechanisms, and they improve only when given regular, gentle practice. After several repetitions, pause briefly and notice how your legs feel. Many people experience a sense of groundedness and improved stability, even though the movement itself feels minimal. This is the nervous system responding positively to consistent input. The fourth movement builds on this balance awareness and adds gentle rotation, another element Japanese elders maintain through daily activities. Rotation through the spine and hips is essential for walking smoothly and reacting quickly to changes in direction. When rotation becomes limited, the body moves as a rigid block, increasing strain on the joints and slowing reactions. To practice this movement, remain standing or sit upright on a chair if needed. Place your hands lightly on your thighs or allow them to move freely. Slowly rotate your upper body slightly to one side, allowing your shoulders and torso to turn while your hips remain mostly forward. The movement is small and controlled, never forced. After a brief pause, slowly return to the center and rotate gently to the other side. Your head and eyes may follow the movement naturally, but there is no need to exaggerate. Breathing remains slow and relaxed. This gentle rotation keeps the spine mobile and encourages coordination between the upper and lower body. Japanese elders maintain this ability through daily tasks that involve turning, reaching, and moving in multiple directions rather than staying fixed in one position. Over time, this movement reduces stiffness in the back and improves walking efficiency. When the body can rotate naturally, steps feel smoother, arm swing returns, and the effort required to move decreases. Practiced together, these two movements help restore balance and adaptability. They do not challenge the body aggressively. Instead, they teach it to remain responsive and relaxed, which is exactly what prevents falls and builds confidence. As with the previous movements, consistency matters more than duration. Performing these gentle, balance-focused movements daily keeps the nervous system engaged in the body, prepared for real-life movement. As the day moves on, many people over 50 begin to notice a gradual change in how their body feels. The morning may start comfortably enough, but by late morning or afternoon, the legs feel heavier. The joints feel less cooperative, and movement begins to require more conscious effort. This shift is often mistaken for normal aging, yet in most cases it is simply the result of circulation slowing down and joints remaining in the same positions for too long. Japanese elders approach this phase of the day very differently. Rather than pushing through discomfort or waiting until the body feels stiff, they use small, gentle movements to keep circulation flowing and joints responsive. These movements are not treated as workouts and are rarely performed all at once. Instead, they are repeated naturally throughout the day, often during quiet moments when the body would otherwise become still. The fifth movement focuses on the lower legs and feet, an area that is often overlooked but plays a central role in comfort, balance, and endurance. The feet and ankles act as the foundation of the body. When they become stiff or inactive, the knees and hips are forced to compensate, which increases fatigue and strain higher up the body. Japanese elders maintain mobility in this area through subtle movements that keep the lower legs awake and responsive. To practice this movement, stand comfortably with your feet about hip-width apart or sit upright on a chair if standing feels unsafe. Begin by slowly lifting your heels a small distance off the ground while keeping the front of your feet in contact with the floor. Hold this position briefly, feeling the muscles in your calves engage, then lower your heels back down in a controlled manner. After a short pause, reverse the movement by gently lifting the front of your feet while keeping your heels on the ground, allowing your toes to rise slightly. Again, move slowly and with control, then lower your feet back to the starting position. This alternating motion creates a smooth rhythm that encourages blood flow through the lower legs without placing stress on the joints. Breathing remains calm and unforced throughout the movement. There is no need to rush or exaggerate. The effectiveness comes from repetition and awareness rather than intensity. Japanese elders often perform similar movements while standing at the sink, waiting for water to boil, or even while seated, keeping circulation active throughout the day. As this movement is repeated, many people notice a gentle warmth spreading through the calves and feet. This warmth is a sign that circulation is improving and that muscles which may have been inactive for long periods are becoming responsive again. Over time, this simple habit reduces ankle stiffness, improves balance, and makes walking feel smoother and less tiring. The sixth movement builds on this restored circulation and addresses another area where stiffness commonly accumulates with age: the hips. The hips are responsible for transferring force between the upper and lower body, and when they become restricted, movement becomes inefficient and uncomfortable. Japanese elders maintain hip mobility through slow, controlled weight shifts that keep the joints lubricated and the muscles engaged. To begin this movement, stand with your feet slightly wider than hip-width apart, or sit upright on the edge of a chair with your feet planted firmly on the floor. Slowly shift your weight into one hip, allowing that side of your pelvis to accept more of your body weight while the opposite leg relaxes slightly. Your chest remains upright, and the movement stays smooth and controlled. Hold this position briefly, then slowly return to the center, before shifting your weight into the opposite hip. The range of motion is small and comfortable, never forced. The goal is to explore movement gently rather than to stretch aggressively. As you continue, you may notice differences between sides. One hip may feel more restricted, while the other moves more freely. This imbalance is very common and reflects years of habitual movement patterns. By practicing this gentle weight shift daily, you gradually restore balance between the hips, which improves overall comfort and stability. Japanese elders often perform similar movements during daily activities such as cooking, gardening, or standing outdoors. These small shifts prevent the hips from becoming rigid and help the body remain adaptable throughout the day. Because the movements are subtle, they can be repeated frequently without causing fatigue. Over time, this hip movement reduces tension in the lower back and decreases stress on the knees by allowing the body to move more naturally. Walking becomes smoother, turning feels easier, and standing for longer periods becomes less tiring. Together, these two movements play an important role in maintaining energy and comfort as the day progresses. They prevent stiffness from accumulating, support circulation, and help the body recover naturally from periods of sitting or stillness. Rather than waiting until discomfort appears, Japanese elders use these movements proactively, keeping the body in a state of gentle readiness. When practiced consistently, these movements help many people feel more comfortable in the afternoon and evening, reducing the sense of heaviness that often limits activity later in the day. They also make it easier to continue moving regularly, which further supports long-term mobility and independence. By the time Japanese elders reach later stages of life, they rarely think in terms of workouts or exercise sessions. What they focus on instead is preserving independence. Independence means being able to move without hesitation, to trust the body when standing, walking, or changing direction, and to complete daily tasks without fear or excessive fatigue. The seventh movement reflects this mindset more clearly than any other, because it brings together balance, coordination, circulation, and calm control into one simple daily habit. This movement is often performed slowly, almost meditatively, and is deeply connected to awareness rather than effort. It is a controlled walking pattern that emphasizes intentional steps and full body involvement, something Japanese elders practice naturally in daily life, whether walking through a garden, along a quiet street, or inside the home. To begin this movement, stand upright with your feet about hip-width apart. If you feel uncertain, position yourself near a wall or stable surface for reassurance, but try not to rely on it unless necessary. Allow your posture to be tall but relaxed, with your shoulders soft and your gaze directed gently forward rather than downward. Slowly take a small step forward with one foot, placing it carefully on the ground and allowing your weight to shift smoothly onto it. As you do this, allow the opposite arm to swing forward naturally, just as it would during relaxed walking. The movement is unhurried and controlled, with full attention on how your body transfers weight from one foot to the other. After shifting your weight fully onto the front foot, pause briefly before bringing the back foot forward to meet it. This pause is important because it trains the body to remain stable on one leg, a skill that directly reduces the risk of falling in daily life. Continue walking forward in this slow, deliberate manner for several steps, focusing on smooth transitions rather than distance. Each step becomes an opportunity to practice balance, coordination, and control at the same time. Japanese elders often walk this way naturally, especially in calm environments, because it allows the body to remain relaxed while staying alert. This walking style reduces impact on the joints, improves posture, and keeps the nervous system engaged without creating stress. As you practice, notice how your feet connect with the ground and how your weight shifts smoothly rather than abruptly. Over time, this awareness improves confidence during walking and makes movement feel more intentional and less hurried. This movement also encourages natural rotation through the spine and hips, which keeps walking efficient and reduces strain on the lower back. When the body moves as a connected system, energy is conserved and fatigue appears less quickly. After practicing for 1 to 2 minutes, pause and stand quietly for a moment. Many people notice that their body feels more balanced, upright, and calm after this movement, even though it requires very little effort. This 7th movement is especially powerful because it mirrors real life. It is not a separate exercise that must be remembered or scheduled. It is simply a way of moving that can be practiced anytime you walk, whether inside your home or outdoors. When combined with the previous 6 movements, it completes a routine that supports the body from the ground up. The first movements restore posture and joint mobility. The middle movements protect balance and coordination, and this final movement integrates everything into daily life. Japanese elders do not rely on motivation or discipline to stay mobile. They rely on routine. By repeating small, gentle movements every day, they prevent stiffness from accumulating and allow the body to remain adaptable. This approach reduces fear of movement and builds confidence over time. It is important to understand that the effectiveness of these movements does not come from intensity or duration. It comes from consistency. Performing them calmly and regularly sends a clear signal to the body that movement is safe, supported, and natural. Over weeks and months, this signal leads to noticeable changes. Standing feels easier, walking feels steadier. Fatigue decreases, confidence grows. These improvements are subtle at first, but they compound over time, creating a strong foundation for long-term mobility. If you choose to adopt this routine, there is no need to do all 7 movements at once. Many Japanese elders spread them throughout the day, performing a few in the morning, a few later in the day, and some whenever the body feels stiff. This flexible approach makes the routine sustainable and enjoyable. As you finish this video, remember that aging well is not about fighting the body or pushing through discomfort. It is about working with the body, listening to its signals, and giving it what it needs to remain functional and comfortable. These 7 daily movements are not a guarantee against aging, but they are a powerful way to support independence, confidence, and quality of life over time. Practiced consistently, they help the body remain capable and responsive, allowing you to move through daily life with greater ease and peace of mind. Take your time, move calmly, and return to these movements often. Your body will respond.